What's up, Cowboys Nation? Let me start this one by saying this team is working non-stop to get better. Every position, every snap, every inch of the field, it's all about improvement. Whether it's fixing the offense, shoring up the defense, or finding the next difference maker, the Cowboys are chasing greatness. So do us a favor, hit that like button to show you're riding with the team through every move, every adjustment, and every tough conversation we have to have. And today, we've got one of those tough conversations. Let's talk about the Cowboys' run game and why Javonte Williams alone isn't enough. Look, Cowboys fans, we've all seen it. Since the Zeke era ended, Dallas has stopped throwing big money at the running back position. And honestly, that's smart. Running backs get beat up more than any other position in the NFL, and the return on investment is rarely worth the price tag. That's why, instead of big names or long-term contracts, Dallas has leaned into short-term, low-risk, low-cost deals. And that strategy's worked, sort of. But this offseason, let's just say the decision raised a few eyebrows. The Cowboys let Rico Dowdle walk for about $2.8 million a year. Not exactly a bank-breaking number. Then they turned around and signed Javonte Williams for just about the same amount. So, the question is obvious. Why switch out one mid-range back for another, especially when the numbers don't lie? Javonte came back from a nasty multi-ligament knee injury in 2023. And while it's easy to root for his comeback story, the production just hasn't been there yet. In 2024, he averaged only 3.7 yards per carry, and get this, he ranked fourth worst in the NFL in rush yards over expected per attempt at 0.6. So again, why make the move? Well, it's not just about rushing. Williams offers more as a receiver. Out of the backfield and on paper, he's a more trustworthy pass protector. He brings versatility that's hard to find at that price point. But even then, he's not the solution. Not by himself. Because let's be honest, the problem in Dallas hasn't just been who is in the backfield, it's how we run the football. Cowboys fans. Let this stat sink in. Dallas ranked 31st in red zone efficiency. Last season, that's not just bad, that's a playoff killer. Over the past 3 postseason exits, Dallas has averaged just 3.2 yards per carry, and it's not about talent, it's about predictability. Defenses knew what was coming. The offense lacked creativity, motion, and deception in the run game. That's why Mike McCarthy is gone. And that's why Brian Schottenheimer is now pulling the strings. Schotty knows what it takes to run the ball effectively. He's proud of having led the league in rushing twice during his time as an NFL coordinator. And this offseason, he made a big statement by hiring 2 offensive line coaches, a clear sign that the Cowboys are going to fix this thing from the inside out. So yes, Williams has upside, but the scheme, the blocking, and the creativity need to rise with him. And let's not forget, Javonte won't be alone. According to Cowboys insider Mike Fisher, Miles Sanders has been getting first-team reps at OTAs, and he could absolutely be part of the rotation this season. But again, if the play design is stale and the execution isn't there, then it won't matter who's carrying the rock. Unless the Cowboys unlock the run game schematically, even the most talented backs will be spinning their wheels. Rotational, not revolutionary. Still, there's hope. Javonte recently told reporters, "I feel completely like myself for the first time since his injury. That confidence is huge. If he's healthy, and if the line improves, he could be a reliable piece in a smarter, more flexible ground attack." Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, we've got some encouraging news as well. Trevon Diggs is making serious strides in his recovery. After missing most of 2023 and dealing with injuries again in 2024, Diggs has only played 13 out of 31 games since signing his 5-year, $97 million extension. But don't count him out yet. Dr. Sharif Taba, who's overseeing Diggs' rehab, recently posted footage showing Diggs back on the field doing functional football movements. No pads yet, and contact's still a ways off, but the recovery's moving forward fast. Cowboys fans, we all know what Diggs looks like when he's healthy. Ball-hawking, game-changing, lockdown elite. If he can return to all-pro form later this season, this defense gets a whole lot scarier. We all know what Micah Parsons brings to the table. Elite pass rusher, game-changer, face of the defense. And maybe most importantly, he's only 26 years old, entering his prime, and hungry to win. But as we head into mandatory minicamp from June 10th through the 12th, there's one question on every fan's mind. When is Micah going to get paid? Here's what we know right now. Thanks to Cowboys insider Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News, Parsons is expected to attend mandatory minicamp, even after skipping some voluntary OTAs earlier this spring. That's good news. But the real headline? There's no sign of a deal getting done before the summer break. Watkins reports that Parsons, through his agent, David Mulugeta, is aiming high. And I mean really high. We're talking about a deal that could approach $200 million in total compensation, which would make it one of the largest contracts ever for a non-quarterback. Let that sink in. For some context, Cleveland Browns star Myles Garrett just signed a 4-year, $160 million deal with a massive $123.5 million guaranteed. Micah's camp is looking to beat that. They want a number that resets the market for defensive players. And honestly, Parsons is absolutely in that conversation. He's a Defensive Player of the Year finalist every season. He's arguably the most disruptive player in the NFL when he's on. But it's not just about value, it's about timing and leverage. First year. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer recently told reporters that he believes Parsons will show up next week. And later that day, Micah went to social media to drop a few hints that he's locked in for now. But here's where things get interesting. Cowboys EVP Stephen Jones told the media, "We'll let you know when it happens. No timeline. No clear progress, just silence." Sound familiar? Cut to flashback. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott contract headlines from last offseason. Last summer, CeeDee Lamb didn't sign his extension until late August. And let's not forget, we didn't even know about Dak Prescott's $240 million extension until just hours before the 2024 season kicked off. This front office has a pattern, and it's all about waiting. Wait for the market. Wait for the right moment. Wait until they absolutely have to sign the dotted line. But here's the catch. Waiting can be risky when it comes to a superstar like Parsons. Micah isn't just a great player. He's the cornerstone of this defense. He finished 2024 with another Pro Bowl selection, double-digit sacks, and constant pressure that kept quarterbacks on edge every single week. And if you're wondering whether Micah could hold out if the deal doesn't come through, that remains to be seen. He's shown up so far. But if training camp starts in July and there's still no extension, we'll be entering dangerous territory. The Cowboys need to balance the business with the locker room. This team wants to compete. They've reloaded the coaching staff. They've revamped the offense. And the last thing they can afford is a distraction from the one guy who should be leading the charge. We know Parsons wants to be a Cowboy for life. He said it. He's shown it. But this isn't just about loyalty. It's about getting what he's earned. And let's be real. Micah Parsons has earned every penny. So here's the reality, Cowboys Nation. This deal might not happen next week. It might not happen in July. It might even stretch into the regular season. But if the Cowboys want to win now, if they want to make real noise in the playoffs, they cannot afford to let this linger too long. Because Parsons deserves to be the highest paid defender in football. Period. So here's the big picture, Cowboys Nation. Javonte Williams isn't here to be a savior. He's here to be part of a smarter, more balanced approach to the run game. Combine him with Miles Sanders, upgrade the scheme, and build behind a revamped O-line. That's how this offense takes the next step. And on defense, getting Trevon Diggs back to full strength could be the midseason boost that puts this unit over the top. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Javonte can be the lead back this offense needs? Or should Dallas look to rotate more with Sanders? Or maybe even bring in another name? And how confident are you that Diggs will bounce back to elite form? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, if you love this kind of content and want more exclusive updates on everything Cowboys, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, stay locked in. How about them Cowboys?